Hello, it's LaShawn with Rooted and Reckless, and I'm here to give you an update on some plants that I adopted 3 weeks ago from yesterday. And I just want to tell you some of the progress that I have seen. So I will start with, I think, what is probably easiest, which is the plant that was already literally. I didn't have to propagate, I had to do very little with, and that is our Philodendron Emerald Red. This plant, I literally just had to water it and it popped right up. I have started to, well, literally from the first day I got it, I have put the trellis in or the stake in, and I have since then added a couple of little trellises because there are about one, two, three, four different vines in here. This one I have not staked yet, so this is another one that is growing up that I will likely stake. I have not made any decisions on pruning it yet, but what I will say is that it is doing very well. It has pushed out about three or four uh, leaves for each week for the last 2 weeks, and here is one that is coming out right here. Here's another one, and I'm sure here's another one. So there's three that are literally probably going to push out this week. It has responded very well to just really some watering and a little bit of fertilizer. I anticipate this is going to continue to do well throughout the rest of this growing season, and we'll see how it goes into the fall. So very little update on this. It literally did well as soon as I watered it, and it's continued to do well each week for the last 3 weeks, and I'm very happy about its progress. So there's the update on that. The next is that let's talk about our green gold Syngonium. First of all, this is another plant that literally has responded very well. I put it in this ball propagation um, uh, device. And this is something that people often use when they are doing the air propagation. They basically clamp it onto a plant and allow the roots to develop within the ball before they cut the plant or the part that they are air propagating from the main plant. I have used this a little bit of a different way in that I found that with perlite and vermiculite that it does very well, and I have basically used it as a propagation device. I will tell you that it already has a brand new leaf that is fully emerged. I believe it is this leaf right here is the newest leaf that is added. It is the same size as the other leaves. And here is another one that is coming out. I've also had to go in and make some adjustments because the roots are literally like last week or the beginning of last week. So a week and a half into this, I literally had to go in and make some adjustments to the roots. I will tell you that I'm probably going to end up transplanting this to a regular pot, but let me just show you literally, and I need to water this. But this went from no roots to literally, and again, I have to water this, but look at all these roots. This is all of the roots that this thing has developed in the last 3 weeks. I mean, that is significant. That's a significant amount of roots that it has developed. So I'm gonna literally repot this into a regular pot at this point because this thing is pretty much full, and it does need to be watered. I've only watered this. This will be the second time that I've watered this in the last 3 weeks. Because again, what I love about these air propagation balls is that the vermiculite and perlite retain the moisture significantly. And it just really creates this humid environment, which allows this to grow, which, again, in the last 3 weeks, it's already put out all of these shoots and giving me one full leaf and another one on the way. So I will be repotting this, and I anticipate that I'm probably going to take it out of the greenhouse. So my Philodendron Emerald Red has been out of the greenhouse from day one. This has been primarily in the greenhouse, so I'm likely going to transition this one out of the greenhouse with 2 new leaves and all of these roots. So I am a firm believer in these propagation balls. And again, this is great results. And I will likely also, I might just continue to keep it in this vermiculite. So we'll see. But I think I'm going to keep it in that just because it has responded so well to the vermiculite and perlite. So, but really, really good results. Very happy with these results. Now let's move on to, and all of these plants have done really, really well. Let's move on to our last plant, which again, I had several propagation pieces, and let's see how things have went. Okay. All right, now to our last plant, which is our Dieffenbachia, our Camille Dieffenbachia. And let me just tell you that these are all the 4 propagation pieces. This has a beautiful leaf that is already pushed out. And it also has some roots that are starting to stick out of the bottom. So I'm going to still keep this. Oh, and it has another, look, this is another leaf that I literally so it's one full leaf and another one that is coming out. So I'm probably going to keep this in the greenhouse for another week. Here is the other one. This is one that just started to unfoil, and I did have a top on these, but as I saw this start to curl inside, I removed the top. These are about an 80% humidity, and my Syngonium was in about 70% humidity, 65 to 70% humidity. But these were in 85% humidity and just have responded really well. There are also roots in this one as well. And this is one that I'm likely going to remove the top from as well. This one was closer to the light, so it's a lot more, the green algae formation, but it is doing well also. And I don't see any roots on this one, but it doesn't mean that there aren't any roots on it. I would be surprised if there aren't, but these 2 definitely have quite a bit of roots. This, I feel like, is responding a little bit slower, possibly because it is fighting hard to keep all of these leaves alive. This has also been in about 80% humidity. And I've had it locked in this with saran wrap in this propagation pot just to keep the humidity in. But I think I have only watered this once, if that, the entire time, because it has literally been just, as you can, I don't know if you can see this, but I'm going to take this off. But this has literally been filled with, basically condensation all the way around. But I can tell that it's dry because the little perlite is starting to fall out of the bottom like dry pieces. But I can see some roots down in the bottom. So that's great. I also, let me just see. I don't want to mess up my little contraption, but I do want to do some investigating as to like what's going on here, what is happening. So I may end up having to cut this and just create another one just so we can see what's going on. So I brought the scissors just so we can. I've got 1,000,001 of these, so I'm not too worried. Ooh, there we go. All right. So the good news is that this is all still green. It's been 3 weeks, like I've said. and all of this is still green. This leaf has not unfurled yet, and I'm not surprised because, again, it takes a lot of energy from the plant to be able to do those types of things. And when it's trying to push out roots, it's going to sacrifice something. And it clearly has not sacrificed the leaves. Although the tips are starting to turn a little bit yellow, it is I'm just seeing that, in this last week. These have always kind of hung down a little bit, but the fact that this is still perked up, and this one is still perked up, I'm just, in complete shock a little bit. So I'm going to let's take a feel for it. Oh my goodness, look at these roots. Look at this. Look at this. This is looking so good for roots. So I am literally going to put this back in here and water it really well. And I'm going to basically do the same things that we have done in the past, which is let's water it down really well. And I'm going to give it a little bit more time in the greenhouse. And I think the progress is going really well. And we'll check back in a couple more weeks and I'll let you know how this is going. I'm going to pot this. And I'm going to keep all of the Dieffenbachia in the greenhouse. And I think I'm going to take our Syngonium out of the greenhouse. And I'm going to find its permanent location. And so when I check back in with you in a couple of weeks, I'll let you know how the Syngonium is doing outside of the greenhouse. And we'll see how our Dieffenbachia is continuing to progress. So anyway, great results. I think I'm doing really well for a plant parent. So anyway, see you in a couple weeks and we'll see how our plants are progressing.